Last week, Tia and Tamera, the two twins that won the show, Sister Sister, I believe Tia was on the hit show The Game. They were on a television show. They were talking about, current things, in their lives and everything. And Tamera got to talking about her interracial relationship. And it became a big thing. And, she got emotional, got upset, and started crying. Her sister had to, console her and cheer her up and everything. But she was talking about all the hate and the hate comments like on Twitter and different social websites and just people within the media making comments about her interracial marriage. And a lot of people had different things to say about it. I heard some people when I was on Facebook talking about it. And, some people were very, I would say, insensitive towards her feelings. They were saying, oh, well, why should you get mad or why should you be crying because someone is talking about your marriage? If it wasn't an issue, then you wouldn't be crying. And, I had wrote one of the people who said that back. I said, we all can be tough as leather. I would say I'm a very tough person. It's not too many things that get to me. But if someone consistently over and over says a lot of negative things, eventually it will touch you in a certain type of way. Someone can talk about your deceased mother or your deceased father, and you might have tough skin, rub it off. It's nothing to it. I'm not saying it's not disrespectful or you don't feel like you want to slap the shit out of that person, but at the end of the day, you understand that this is social media and people are going to say cruel things. But eventually, if people keep saying that over and over and over, eventually it's going to be that one spark that's going to take you to the next level and you might react in a certain way. Some people get emotional. Some people resort to violence. Some people, resort to legal matters. But, when it comes to my opinion with this whole thing, like I've said before, I don't have a problem with interracial relationships or marriages. I've done videos on, actually my most successful video to date was the video I did on Maxwell, how black women were ridiculing him on Instagram because of his decisions of his preference in women that he likes, or him taking the abundance of pictures with white women, and that's my most successful video. And like I said, I don't have an issue with interracial relationships. I am pro-black families because I feel like because of the adversity that black people deal with, I think that it's more, I'm not going to say healthier, but it's more of I think it brings more of an understanding, and you're able to cope with certain things as a child and as just someone coming up in America being a black person. I think you're able to cope with more things if you're raised within a two-parent household of black parents, because they're able to give you that wisdom and able to teach you about how to deal with certain adversities that you're going to deal with being black in America. So, I've always been pro-black family. I encourage black people getting together, putting away, all this black gender war BS and actually creating solid, strong black families. I'm all for that. But at the end of the day, I understand that love has no color. And if you find someone that treats you right, that loves you, that cares for you, and they're outside of your ethnicity, hey, go for it. Because at the end of the day, we all want to be with somebody who, loves us, that genuinely cares for us. What's the point of being with someone in your race if that person doesn't treat you right, that person doesn't love you? Just to say, oh, well, I'm keeping it real, I'm with a black man or black woman. That's not keeping it real, that's keeping it stupid. So, even though, I encourage black people coming together and creating solid families and solid households, I do understand that love has no color. And I understand, her being, getting emotional. You have to understand this is a woman, this is not a man. Women tend to be more emotional with things. So, things do affect women in different ways. But, I just think that us as, black people, we have to get away from that. We do have to support black families. I encourage that. I think that, we should go out and try to create black families, but at the end of the day, we all have our own preferences, we all have, our own choices. You can't get mad if somebody wants to only deal with a white man or a white woman. Now, it's different connotations on it if it's for a certain reason. I always say this also: make sure if you're gonna step outside of your race and be in a relationship with a white man or white woman or anybody of any other ethnicity, make sure it's genuine, because a lot of times we have, I would say especially with white people, because of the historical reference that they have with black people. You have a lot of white women out here that might say, okay, well, I want to be with a black man because I want the black dick. I don't mean to be that vulgar, but it is what it is. Or I want to see if the sex is better. Or you have the white man that might have these twisted slave type of things he wants to do with the black woman. He wants to defile the black woman. He wants to do what some of these little ghetto gag characters are doing out here. He wants to have his black Afrocentric woman on his arm, and he wants to make another black man jealous and say, hey, look at me, I got your woman on my arm. So that occurs too. And that's why I say, if you're going to step out and be in an interracial relationship, or white men approaching you, or white women approaching you, or vice versa, make sure it's legitimate. Make sure it's for the right reason, because people do have alternative motives when it comes to being in interracial relationships. But it is what it is. I didn't really go out of here for it, because hey, we all have the right to make our own decisions. Now whether that's the right decision for you and as a whole, that's the decision you have to deal with. But if you guys want to, you can give me your feedback. I'll try to leave a link in the description box. You guys want to read on the article. But hey, this is the world we live in right now.